Good morning, everyone. It is October the 31st, commonly celebrated as Halloween here in the States, and my name is Anne-Marie Band, and this is the Moneyball morning report for the Benzinga Pro platform. Let's take a look at what we've got going on in SPY and the Qs. And the big thing that I want to show you is, and I know we've got a lot of notes, so we're going to look at them a little bit closely. We did exactly what the chart said we would do once we broke through a very particular range. And so here's where we are. The question marks here for, is this resistance still the same? Is it 389? Is it 386? It's definitely between those two things. As we've started in the morning, we are down just below 89, and now we are floating right around that 86 area where we began a bounce. But let's talk about form. At the end of today, this green channel for both of these is going to shift because this is September's range. Where we were in October, we've come through a portion of September's fade, but the 50% line is still not over the top for the Qs, and it's barely over the top for the SPY. Now, the diamonds, which is the Dow, that's holding up fairly well. So these guys should follow along if the diamonds / Dow continues to hold. But at this juncture, we should see a press into this upward edge. If the buyers cannot come in and hold the midline here for SPY at the 384 to 386 area, if they can't do that, they are going to walk back down the range of last week, which was pretty intense, right? We had a really solid upside week in the SPY, not so fantastic in the Qs because we had these two sharp downward days before we held, all right? But we're still inside of these ranges. What do we anticipate for trading today? Well, it's going to be noisy. We have the FOMC on Wednesday. We're still in the middle of earnings season. We're a very news-heavy environment right now. And indeed, if we look at trend without moving averages, if you looked at this and you said, hey, is this chart in this function going up here to the right or down here to the left? And we are likely to say, hey, it looks like it's going down to the left. And so we're still in a bearish formation. That's what we have to watch for. In a bearish formation, pullbacks for buyers in this upward press are going to try to be very heavily defended. And notice where they came in to the defend, right there at that level, the 386 to 389 region. And if we can hold up over that, we have further upside. If we can't, it's further downside. My suspicion is this candlestick and this candlestick, because of very weak volume formations, we are likely to fade. But because the trend in the short term is up, the buyers are going to want to defend that, right? They're going to say, hey, listen, I want to buy the 20 simple moving average, or I want to buy the whatever it is. So anticipate fighting. Notice on the SPY and the Qs, we saw fighting at each one of these ranges. This is 389, 388. This is where they began to fight. And again, they're fighting here. But the trend is downward. So the bounces into old resistance, old support is going to likely give us resistance. My thought is we give back some of Friday's gains, but Friday normally helps trend into Monday, so we have to be very careful if we're trading short. If we're trading long and it loses the support, we get out immediately and wait for it to come back to one of our key levels. Where is that? Midline of last week, midline of Friday, and this is the 25% range of last month's motion. All right? Hopefully that answers some questions in terms of what you want to do. The reason that I show you these, remember, put them on your charts. Monthly, open, high, low, close, and the midline, and the weekly, open, high, low, close, and that midline, and you're going to see the markers where the buyers and sellers are going to come in. And you can do this for any chart that you want. If you don't see these lines, you know that it's not a very important space in general, and the traders are either going to collapse right through it or they're not going to touch it at all. All right? Good luck trading today.